I'm April Plank. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to be going through a around 30-minute reformer class using some weighted balls, working primarily our lower body. So I'm going to first start by moving my gear bar out to the farthest position. Now I have the Revo gear bar, so I can move it out all the way, and then I've got a pretty big space here in which I can stand. If you cannot do that, and yours does not go out that far, then I want you to move your gear bar all the way in, take your foot bar down, and you'll be standing on here. So if you cannot move your gear bar out enough that you can stand, you're going to be pulling your gear bar all the way in, and then you're going to be having yourself standing here. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to put my foot bar back up. We'll start off on one red spring, which is one heavy spring, and then I'm going to step here into my well. I'm standing on a box because my reformer is quite tall, and then I'm going to pick up my balls. So I've got my balls in my hands. Start with your left foot on the carriage, and you're going to push out into that left foot. Relax your shoulders down your back, pull your abs in, and we'll start pushing the left leg. We're going to go all the way out and back in, pressing the leg and pulling it back in. Good. So I'm really trying to drive into that left heel and slide the leg out. And as you get more comfortable with this, we're going to add more work into it. So I'm going to add my upper body. So when you push the leg, I want you to circle your arms up and over the head and bring them back. Circle up and over the head and back. Good. This is a really great exercise actually for your knees, to strengthen all the muscles around the knees. Also a great exercise for your balance as well. Do one more and then hold it halfway. So your arms are out into a T. You're going to do little pulses with your palms facing the ceiling, pulsing the arms up an inch and down an inch, and pulsing the leg out an inch and in an inch. We'll do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself home and take a quarter turn to your right. So I still have my left foot on, and I'm turning my left toes to my tower. I'm going to start again by just pushing out and in with that left leg. So I always want to get used to one movement before I start complicating things. And you can always stay here. If this is enough of a challenge, because we are doing a lot here, we're balancing and we're pushing at the same time, you can stay right here. If you want to add the arms, they're going to go to goal post this time. When you push the leg, you'll press the arms up and over the head. So I'm doing an overhead press, big exhale to press up and push out. Good. I'll do that 2 more times. 1 more, and then we'll do that hold again. So hold halfway, little pulses up an inch with the arms and out an inch with the leg. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way home. Take another quarter turn to your right. Now we're facing out the foot bar, or if you're standing outside, you're facing away from your carriage. Now my left foot's going to be up against the edge of the carriage. I'm going to push all the way out and in. Now, if you are not in the well and you're standing way far out, you might want to take a box or something stable beside you if you're having a hard time balancing, and then you can push and kind of hold into that box. So if you are not in the well and you're standing out here doing the work, it might be handy to have a box beside you to hold on to. Good. I'm going to go 3, 2. After my last one, I'm going to add my arms. So now I'm going to take my arms and do a little fly. So I'm going to open my arms out as I push the leg back. Good. If any time this is too much to add the upper body, please just leave the upper body out. And 1 more. Good. Now I'm going to slide my left foot back about halfway. My movement is now going to come from my right knee. I'm going to bend the right knee to go back, push off the right heel to come up. So it's a nice big lunge, lunging back, pushing through the right heel. Lunging back, pushing through the right heel. Two more. I'm going to add my arms to this. So I can either option A, just hold the hands beside me. Option B, when I come up, I'm going to do an overhead press and then knuckles towards the floor. Knuckles to the ceiling, knuckles to the floor. Nice. 3 and 2 and 1. Good job. Put the hands down. Slide your left knee on the carriage, turn your toes under, and just take it for a little stretch. Lift your chest, tuck your tail under, feeling that hip flexor, and quadricep release. We're going to do all the same exercises on the other leg, but let's do them in reverse. So we're kind of making our way around the world. So let's come in. Put your left foot down, right foot onto the carriage, and we'll start with pressing out and in with our right glute. So I'm pushing all the way out and in. My first one I'm holding on, just using my balance. Good. 2 more, and then we'll add that fly with the arms. So I'm going to take my arms now off the foot bar and lift up and back. Good. I like to find a little balancing point I can kind of focus on, or a little spot on the floor or the wall in front of me to help me balance. Good, last 2 here. Oh, that was a little shaky. Okay, then we're going to slide the right foot back, and we'll bend the left leg back and push through the left heel to come up. See, I told you these aren't easy. So it's always good to challenge your edge, especially when it comes to balance. We always want to be improving our balance, working on our balance. So, so important. Remember, we're driving through the left heel to lift up. Option 2, you're going to take your hands and just hold the balls to your sides. Option 3, when you come up, you're going to punch your knuckles to the ceiling. When you go back, you punch your knuckles to the floor. Definitely feeling that left glute here. Three, and 2, and 1. Good job. Set the hands down, set the knee down, turn the toes under, and find your little stretch. Good. Let's come up. We'll turn to the right a quarter turn. You have your toes on the carriage of the right foot facing the tower. Hands just right beside you, chest lifted. We'll start pushing out and in with that right leg. Good. These full body exercises, I know I said it's all about legs, but we are adding the arms, can really get your heart rate up. So make sure you're breathing, sending that oxygen into the muscles that need it. Good. We're going to take the arms into that goal post and push them up as you press out and back in. Good. 2 more to go. And then we'll hold it halfway in and do tiny little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way in. Last little quarter turn back to facing the tower. So back where we started, your right foot's on the carriage, chest lifted, shoulders back and down. Big exhales, you push through the right leg. So you want to kind of feel like you're pushing down into your right heel and sliding that leg out in front of you. Good. We've got 3 and 2. And now we'll add our upper body. So as you press out, you circle the arms up, moving kind of through molasses. So it's a slow, controlled lift and descent. Three, 2, and 1. Come halfway out, turn the palms up, 1-inch pulses up with the arms and out with the legs. You've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Let's come in. We're going to step out of the well and move our gear bar back to our regular position. So move the gear bar back in. Put 1 spring red on, so 1 heavy spring on, put your foot bar down. So we'll grab our balls again. If you're getting tired of upper body, you can leave it out. So we're always going to step on the stable surface first, unstable surface second. All right, so make sure my feet are parallel facing forward. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. As I push my carriage out, I'm going to take my arms out to a T and bring everything back in. Be careful that you're finding that pause when you go out. I guess not be careful, just make sure you're doing it because that's where you're going to find a little work. So you actually feel when you have that little pause in your exercise, your muscles are having to hold the resistance and then you're coming in. It can get really easy just letting the carriage fling in and out. So you want to resist doing that. Very slow and controlled movements. Good. Two more to go. Last one. Good. Now we'll come in. You're going to squat down with a little bicep curl and then straighten back up. So you're sitting back into the hips and right back up. Good. Squats and lunges are probably one of the most effective ways to work your legs. So definitely adding those here. 2 more. We're going to hold the second one down. So I want you to hold it down. Keep the weight in your right leg. Push your left leg out. So most of my weight is staying on my right leg. I'm using my right glute as a stabilizer as I push through my left leg. Again, we're going to add the upper body for the second set. So arms are going to go high elbow and then close. So it's a bent arm, lateral raise. Good. 3 more. And 2. Hold your next one out there. Punch the arms out and back in. Out and back in. Just stabilize. Really feeling my right glute here. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Come all the way in and stand up for a moment. All right, we got to take it back into that squat. Now we're going to have the elbows into your waist. You're going to let your palms kind of reach out to the corners. We're going to push in the right leg as you punch your arms to the diagonal and back in. This is a little trickier because we're taking our weight and traveling our weight over the reformer. So it can be a little scarier to actually be moving your weight over this unstable surface. Good. 3. 2 more. Let's hold the last one out there and give me little circles with the arms. 4, 3, 2. We've got to go the opposite direction. That's what we did 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way in. Very carefully step your carriage foot off first. So I'm going to step back with my carriage foot, Then I can step my stable foot. Let's walk around and do it again. Remember, we're on a red spring, so we have one heavy. I'm always going to step onto my stable surface first, my unstable surface second. Make sure your feet are parallel, your shoulders are down, your abs are in, your tail slightly tucked. We're going to push out and hold and bring it back in. Push out and hold and bring it back in. Really nice job, you guys. Good, 2 more to go. Last one, we're going to hold it out there, and we're just doing little presses with the arms. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way in. Squat with a bicep curl. Stand right back up. Squat with a bicep curl. Push through your heels. I want to see most of the weight going back into your heels. If you needed to lift your toes, you could. There's not much weight in the front of the foot at all. Three to go. 2 more. Hold your last one down. Hold your elbows to your waist. Push the right leg straight and back in. I have my palms facing each other. My arms or my forearms are parallel to the floor. 3 to go, and then we're going to add our lateral raise with the arms. Next time you're going to open the arms out, pull them back in. Open the arms out and pull them in. Really good. We're pushing with that right leg. My left glute is on fire. I've got most of my weight in the left. 2 more. And last one. Let's come home. Stand up for a moment. Come back down. Put your elbows to your waist with your palms up, facing the diagonal. You're going to push out with your left leg, pull it back in. Now see how low you can go. Try to go really low through the hips as you push out and in through the left. Like you're coming straight. You're just kind of sliding out and in without going up and down. Add your arms. Push them out to the diagonal and back in. Out to the diagonal, back in. How low are you? Hopefully you're staying low there. Get ready to hold it. 3 and 2. Hold your next one out. Give me 4 circles. 4, 3, 2. Reverse your direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way in. Your right foot, carriage foot, steps off. Then your other foot steps off. Okay, let's put our foot bar up. We're going to take it to 3 red springs, and we're going to lay down. So once you are on your carriage, I want you to have your headrest down because we're going to be bridging. Feet are hips distance apart. I've got my tailbone heavy. My heels are on the bar. I'm going to lift up into a bridge, and from that bridge, I'm going to push the carriage out and in 8 times. Now you will not want to do much more than 8 because we're going to be doing several sets of this. Now it's harder to push out, so I'm already finding myself exhaling out because that's the hardest part. But you'll find we're going to keep lowering the weight. It's going to get easier to push out. After 8, that should be about 8, you're going to roll your spine down, just give it a little stretch. Now we're going to come up 2 ways. You can grab behind your hamstrings and just roll yourself up. That's option 1. Option 2, you're going to take your arms to the ceiling, put your legs on the bar, and roll yourself up. That is the abdominal challenge option. So you've got 2 options. Take a red spring off. You are in 2 red springs. Lower it all the way back down, arms to the sides, heels back on, sits bones distance apart, lift the hips back, press out and pull in. As we continue to lower the weight, you're going to feel more and more work coming in. It's going to be harder to come in, easier to go out. That's going to translate into more hamstrings, less quads and glutes. 2 more. Good. And then we'll lower down. Take your option of grabbing behind the hamstrings or having the legs long. We'll roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Take a red spring off. You're left with 1 red. Roll it all the way down. Remember, on my balanced body machine, a red is a heavy spring. Bring your heels back on, sits bones distance apart. Lift your hips back up. Here we go. Woo! Don't push too quickly because you're going to go flying. So push out, pull back in. Push out, pull back in. You're trying to go all the way out, but I understand if you can't go as far as it gets more challenging. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Lower your hips. 2 options to roll up. Choose your option. We're going to roll it all the way up. We are going down again. It's going to get crazy in here. Let's take it to a blue spring. Take your red off. So blue is my medium. I'm going to take it all the way back down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Now, with this change of spring, I'm going to change my foot position. I'm going to take my pinky toe side of my foot and put it on top of the foot bar. So I've got the whole pinky toe side on top. I'm going to lift my hips up, push out, squeeze in. This is one of my favorites. It's going to get more into the side of the bottom. We're pushing out and we're squeezing. Think about razor blade those feet. Push them right into the foot bar, right into the top. Two more. 1 more. And let's lower the hips down. Your choice of how to come up. This will be our last time. And you have 2 choices. Yellow, if that's available, or nothing. So you choose. Do you want yellow or do you want nothing? Yellow is your lightest and nothing is no springs. Reach the arms in front, roll yourself down. I want you to be super duper careful here. Take the arms to the sides, put the pinky toe side of the foot on the reformer, lift your hips up. If you have nothing, go out slowly. Even if you have a yellow, go out slowly. Go out. You've got to pull yourself in. Go out. Pull yourself in. This is one you have to work towards. So if you're just starting this, don't feel bad if you can't do 0 springs or even a blue spring. It takes time to build up your strength. Listen to your body, do what you can. And over time, the more discipline you have, the more you do it, it's going to get easier. Give me 2 more, please. 1 more. Woo-hoo. Come on in. All right, we got to roll up 1 more time. Make sure the carriage doesn't move off on you. And we're going to roll all the way up. Okay, let's go to 1 red, 1 blue, which is 1 heavy, 1 medium. We're going to lay all the way back down. Push the carriage out and put your feet in straps. So every leg workout should have feet in straps, right? That's good leg work. So we're going to push the legs nice and long, and then we're going to pull them right back to tabletop. Big exhale, push, and then right back to tabletop. So I want you to think just like you're doing your footwork, except we're open chain, which means that we're not pushing into anything stable. So an open chain exercise, we're having to work all these small stability muscles to keep our legs still. Two more. 1 more. Come back to tabletop and hold. So my knees are right in line with my hips, my shins are parallel to the floor. I'm going to do little pulses. I'm going to pulse my feet 1 inch away from me, 1 inch towards me. Every time I pulse my feet away from me, I'm pulling my navel deeper. I'm thinking of the head going in opposition. So I'm growing my spine long to the tower. as my feet pulse to the foot bar. So think opposition. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go all the way straight, turn your toes out, heels together, bend your knees to tabletop, squeeze your legs together. See how much you can engage. Bend to tabletop, squeeze together. Gonna make sure I don't get carried away. Check my timer. I mean, we could probably do 30 minutes of feet and straps, but we're trying to keep this as an express workout. So I keep an eye on my time. Last 2, 1 more, and then you're gonna hold that frog, and again, little pulses. 1 inch out with the heels, 1 inch in with the belly, 1 inch up with the crown of the head. So I'm pulsing, just little tiny pulses. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Push the legs all the way straight. Bring the toes back to touch. Bring your legs up so that your feet are right in line with your hips. I want your tailbone to be down, neutral spine. Right leg's gonna go out to the right as far as you can and back in. Left leg's out to the side as far as you can and back in. So as you move the right leg out, you're trying to keep your hips stable. Same thing with the left leg. So I'm just alternating. I like to take my hands to my hips sometimes and just see what's happening. Make sure it's staying still. Inhale out, exhale, pull it in. We've got 4 more singles. Try to keep that carriage as still and steady as you can. Not a lot of movement happening, hopefully. And this will be your last single. And now both of our legs are going to follow that imaginary line out and pull back in. Both legs out, squeeze back in. Sorry, just checking my clock. Last 2. I'm sure you wouldn't be upset if I went a minute over with feet and straps. And when your legs are together, we're gonna circle down, open out, and around and back up. So even with a 30-minute class, you're getting a little dessert. Good, feel free to make these as big as you'd like. Getting that big stretch of the inner thighs, stretch of the legs. Let's go 2 more of these circles. And then when you get to the top, we will reverse the direction of the circles. So you'll open, push down and together, and back up. Open, push down and together, and back up. Three more. Last 2. And 1 more. All right, pull the legs into a little butterfly, soles of the feet together, knees wide. You can pull those straps towards you, giving that low back a little stretch. Maybe even rock side to side if that feels comfortable, massaging your back. And then when you're ready, the feet can come off of the straps. Put your straps on the pegs. Let's roll off to the side. Come down to 1 red spring only. Take your left foot up against the shoulder block. Left knee is going to rest on the carriage, and we'll push it back into a lunge. Now make sure you're just not sinking into the stretch. You're engaging your abdominals. You're tucking underneath you, so you get a big stretch through your hip flexor, through your quadricep. And then we'll come up and take the right knee back against the shoulder block, and you'll push into a second stretch. And then we'll come up and walk around to the other side, or I like to scoot over to the other side. So your right foot up against the shoulder block, right knee down. You're just going to push out into your stretch. Make sure you're not dumping. You're pulling the abs in, keeping the stretch in the hip flexor. And then we'll come in and do our very last stretch. And let's come all the way up. And we are done. Hopefully your legs feel great, and I appreciate you joining me today. I hope to see you sometime really soon. Have a great day.